Everyone was expecting Ondo to crash after this massive token unlock, so why hasn't it happened? In this video, I will be discussing just that. I'll also take a look at the Ondo chart and let you guys know what I'm expecting in the short term for this project. And last but not least, I will be taking a look at some interesting macro news events that could have an impact on these assets for the next couple of days. But before I get into all of that, guys, this is Royalty Crypto here, and do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Your guys' support means so much to me, and it's what keeps me coming back each and every day with fresh altcoin content. But without further ado, let's take a look at Ondo. I made a video on this project 2 weeks ago, and I said that it was very likely that we would see a sell the rumor buy the news event play out with this massive token unlock, and so far that is exactly what we've seen, because in early January we were sitting at 46 cents, and leading into this event we dropped all the way down to 37 cents, but since then we have actually started to regain some bullish momentum, and we are back up to 39 cents. If you guys were unaware, Ondo has a token unlock every single year at this same exact time of 17% of the max supply until all of the supply is in circulation. Now, I do believe that this event has been causing a lot of fear and uncertainty for this project, and of course, as you guys know, price action for these coins hates uncertainty. But in my opinion, now that this event is behind us, it is very likely that we will start to see smart money accumulate this project again, because we no longer need to worry about a supply unlock for a full year. Now, of course, we could still see some volatility if anybody who did receive tokens during this unlock decides to panic sell, but hopefully that is not the case and that we can actually start to form a new uptrend for Ondo. And I do think that that is the most likely scenario in this spot. Ondo is, in my opinion, the best tokenization play in all of crypto, and I believe that that will be one of the best narratives during the next bull cycle for crypto. And if you guys watch my channel, you would know that I am very optimistic on 2026 for the overall crypto market, and I do expect us to have a significant bull run this year. I'm not going to get into the details too much, but my reasoning for that is because we are going into the expansion phase of the business cycle. We have officially started quantitative easing, and we are expected to continue to cut the federal funds rate over the next 1 to 2 years. In my opinion, all of this is the perfect recipe to create a risk-on environment, which in turn would most likely cause altcoins to have that bull run that we've been waiting on for a very long time. So if that really does come into play, I think that it is very realistic to think that Ondo could get somewhere between a $10 billion to a $20 billion market cap. If that were the case, you could end up 10 to 20xing your money if you are accumulating at these levels, and these levels are the lowest that we've seen basically since the launch of this project back in early 2024. So I personally think that the risk to reward to buying Ondo here is a very good one, especially if you are bullish on this project. But as I mentioned in all of my videos, guys, that is not financial advice, and you need to make that decision on your own. Also, another reason why I believe right now could be the best time to be accumulating is because you can see that we have yet to see any true euphoria enter the market. I'm taking a look at the crypto fear and greed index here, and we are currently sitting at a 50. Now, a couple of months ago, we were much lower, as we were all the way down here at a 10 in extreme fear, and that was when I was doing my heaviest accumulation of altcoins. However, guys, we have yet to see a true recovery for Ondo, so I think that now is still potentially a fantastic time to be dollar cost averaging. Altcoins like Ondo almost always lag the price of Bitcoin, so in my opinion, I think that we need to see Bitcoin have a significant rally to the upside before you can expect Ondo to have a parabolic move. But in my opinion, guys, Bitcoin is starting to look very bullish yet again. As you can see, I'm looking at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and this is on the 3-day, and you can see that we have significantly more short liquidations above us than long liquidations. In my opinion, this is very important because it incentivizes whales and market makers to push the price of Bitcoin up in order to create a short squeeze event. So I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever, as long as we don't see any mini black swan events this week, that Bitcoin could actually push back up to around 99,000 and potentially get hit with the $100,000 psychological resistance once we get up to that point. But in my opinion, guys, it is very important that Bitcoin does regain this momentum and pushes back above $100,000, because the higher we can push back up towards the all-time high, the less people there will be believing in the 4-year halving cycle. And I do think that there is a lot of people with money on the sideline right now, and that could create a significant FOMO event that causes Bitcoin to smash through the all-time highs and push up between 140 to 180,000. Also guys, when you zoom out on the 3-month on this liquidation chart, you can see that we have so much short liquidation sitting above us, and those short liquidations go as high as about 118,000. So in my opinion, it would not take very much to push the price of Bitcoin back up towards 120k, because this is the perfect recipe to see a short squeeze event take place, because if these liquidations end up taking place, those people will be forced to sell their entire position, which of course creates bullish momentum. But also guys, it's important to notice that we do have quite a bit of long leverage positions open beneath us as well, so it is very possible that Bitcoin could push back down to around 83,000 if we do have any FUD enter the market. And unfortunately guys, we do have quite a bit of uncertainty taking place as we speak. One of those events is the fact that the Crypto Clarity Act did not get passed on Thursday, and it is starting to look like an uncertain situation. As you can see here, the White House is considering pulling its support for the crypto market structure bill entirely if Coinbase does not come back to the table with a yield agreement that satisfies the banks and gets everyone to a deal. Now, in my opinion, guys, I think it was a good thing that Coinbase came out and pointed out these negative aspects that were added to the bill. But at the same time, guys, I think that we really do need to understand that nobody is going to entirely agree upon the bill, and that we need to just get this passed. It has gone on far too long that the crypto market has not had clear regulations, and in my opinion, this could end up being a very bullish thing for the markets. However, the longer we push this down the road, the more uncertainty it creates for the market. Now, another thing that is adding a lot of uncertainty to the market is the fact that we are somewhat in a tense situation with Iran right now. And as you can see here, apparently Iran is developing plans to strike a US military base. Now, if it ends up being like the same situation that happened a couple months ago, where they hit one of the bases where nobody was actually at, and they warned us in time so that we could evacuate, this could end up being a nothing burger for the overall market. But if it does end up being a casualty event, that could be very negative, because it could force the US into a full-blown war, and I don't think that anybody wants that. So this is undoubtedly something that we need to continue to monitor, because it could affect the prices of our assets. And last but not least, guys, I wanted to talk about something that I believe was an important lesson for basically everybody, and that is the fact that Treasury Secretary Bassett came out and said that tariffs did not lead to higher inflation. Now, the reason that I say that this is an important lesson for people is because if you were in this market in early 2025, you would know that these tariffs ended up leading to a significant sell-off for Bitcoin and crypto. Now, during that time, I did not have this YouTube channel yet, but I was personally accumulating as much as possible at those low levels, because I figured that everybody was overreacting as per usual, and of course this is basically proof that everybody was overreacting. So guys, do not fall for the FUD. If we get significant sell-offs because of news events or rumors like this, typically the best thing to do is take advantage of other people's fear and accumulate strong altcoins that you believe in. That will end up making you a lot of money in the long run, and that is what my personal strategy has been for the past few years, and I have done very well with that strategy. But alright guys, well that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend. Stay strong, stay bullish, and ignore the FUD as always. Peace.